welcome back to the channel. My name is Brittany of BrittanyJJones.com, and today is day 5. This is the last day of our bodysuit so long here on my YouTube channel. Use the simplicity pattern 8513, and I have had the best time ever. So I really do hope that you all have been enjoying the videos. If you missed any of the other days in this so long, definitely go back and watch those videos and check them out. I'll walk you step by step to making your own bodysuit using this pattern. To sew view E, you're going to need pieces 2, 17, 18, 19, and 20. You're also going to need to cut out piece 21 and 22. These are elastic guides to go around your sleeve. So don't forget to cut those out. And of course your piece 2 is your crotch lining, so don't forget that as well. Before we jump into sewing, I just want to share with you all 2 things that I noticed while I sewed up view E. First thing I did was, number 1, I used this striped jersey knit. This was my original view E. I love this striped fabric. However, it was a jersey and it was not the right fabric to use for this collar. As you can see, it completely drops. It has no stability around the neck. So if you're going to use a jersey fabric, I would not suggest using it for the ones that have the collar. Number 1, there's a zipper in the back, and it's just going to be a little loosey-goosey around the neck. So definitely try to get a knit with a little bit of weight if you're going to be using, if you're going to be sewing the ones that have the collar. So this right there was a big no for me. I was like, not really feeling that. Also, this sleeve was way too big. This is the extra large sleeve. I laid this sleeve piece up to the regular sleeve piece for the other views, and it was way wider. So I ended up just completely trashing this one. And I went with a gray ponte knit, and I absolutely love it. Here's what I did. I went around my neck and I cut it down to a large. I love it. It sits up, it has that structure around the neck, and it's not too loose around the neck area like view D was for me. Also, I laid the sleeve piece on top of the other sleeve pieces, and I cut that down to a large as well. So those are the 2 modifications that I made to view E, and I love the fit of it now. So I just wanted to bring that up to you. Like I said in the other views, if you have any knit muslin laying around, sew it up right quick, give it a test, make any modifications if you need to, or you can always base it in place and see if you need to make modifications after you do that. So after you have all of your markings transferred, your notches are snipped, go ahead and cut all your pieces out and we can get started. Alright everybody, so the first step to sewing our bodysuit, we need to put our front and back right sides together and start pinning at our shoulders as well as our side seams. So make sure that you line up your notches and then pin your shoulders and side seams now. Once you have it all pinned, like I have here, go ahead and take it to your machine and sew it down. Once you're back from the sewing machine and you have your sides sewn as well as your shoulders and they are finished, now you can go ahead and move that to the side and grab your collar piece. With your collar piece, you want to fold your piece wrong sides together so the right side is out facing you. Go ahead and put a couple pins in place, and then you want to baste all the way around your collar. Once you have it all basted in place, go ahead and grab your bodysuit, and now we're going to attach the collar around the neck edge of our bodysuit. So first you want to line up your notches, line up your dots, and go ahead and pin all the way around the neckband, pinning down the collar. Once it's all pinned, go ahead and take it to your machine and sew it, and then finish off your edges. So now that you're back, make sure that you give it a good press, pressing down your seam allowance toward the bodysuit. Next, you can see here, I also finished off my seam allowance for my center back seam, and I also applied 2 small strips of interfacing just so I could stabilize the zipper area where I'll be applying the zipper. So go ahead and grab your zipper, and then we're just going to attach our zipper, our invisible zipper, in place. You can use whatever zipper method works best for you. As you can see, I have my zipper pinned in place. First, I'm going to baste it down, and then after I baste it and I make sure that my collar seam is lined up how I want it to be, then I'm going to go back with the permanent stitch, pushing the coils out of the way and sewing really close in there. So now that I'm back, you can see here that I have my zipper installed as well as my stripes matched, thank the Lord. So now we can go ahead and finish off the remainder center back seam. So go ahead and pin in place. As you can see here, I have mine all pinned. If you're matching up stripes, definitely make sure that you take your time on this part. Go ahead and take it to your sewing machine and then finish sewing it down. Also go back and finish the top of your zipper pull. That's over in step 5. So moving right along, we're going to go ahead and grab our 2 sleeves. We're going to lay our sleeves right sides together. From here, you can go ahead and line up your notches and then pin down your underarm seam of your sleeve. Once you have it all pinned, you can take it to the sewing machine, sew down your seam, as well as finish your hem while you're there. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, I'm back from my sewing machine. I have everything sewn, finished, as well as hem. So now, just so you know where we are down at step 9. You can go ahead and take your sleeve elastic guide, which is piece 21. You want to cut 2 pieces of elastic the same length as that strip. And what you're going to do is on the inside, you're going to go ahead and pin or clip your elastic in place. And just like we've been doing the crotch all week, we're just going to zigzag that down. So go ahead and go ahead and pin down your elastic. Once you have it all pinned down on both of your sleeves, go ahead and take it to your sewing machine and zigzag stitch them down in place. Make sure that you stretch slightly as you're sewing. Once you have it zigzagged in place, now we're just going to fold the elastic over onto itself, and then you want to stitch that down on a 1/4 of an inch seam. Okay, so now that both of our sleeves are finished, now we can go ahead and install them into our top. So first, make sure that you are in fact using the right sleeve. So make sure that you have your right notches. Start pinning at your center seam, pin all the way around, and then sew it as well as finish off your edge now. Okay, so we have that part done. You can see here that I finished off that edge, and I also went ahead and I finished off the remainder of the sleeve, because we're going to do the same exact thing that we just did with the elastic to our armhole elastic. So let's go ahead and grab our piece 22, which is our armhole elastic guide. Now this guide has markings on it that needs to be transferred, so make sure that you do that. That's going to help line up your shoulder seam as well as the other dots that you've already transferred onto your bodysuit. So make sure that you do that. And then once you have 2 equal pieces cut out for both of your armholes, go ahead and pin or clip the elastic in place. And then you're going to take it to your sewing machine once you're all done. And then you're going to stitch in a 1/8 of an inch zigzag stitch all the way around your elastic. So go ahead and do that now. So now that you have that done, we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to fold the elastic to the inside onto itself, put some clips in or pins in, and then you want to stitch. Make sure that you connect with that previous stitching that you have there, and then stitch in a 1/4 of an inch all the way around your armhole. So now that you have your sleeves installed, now we can move on to sewing our crotch. So working on your back piece first, you want to fold up 3/8 of an inch on that raw edge, and then fold up along that fold line, pin or clip it in place, give it a good press, and then you're going to stitch right along that inner fold line. So once you have that all done, now we can move on to sewing our front crotch. To do this, what you want to do is right sides together. You want to lay your crotch onto the right side of your front piece, match up your notches in your centers, go ahead and pin there, right where you have your notches at. And then you want to go ahead and take it to the machine, and then you're going to stitch along that notched edge. Once you have it sewn, go ahead and grab your scissors, and you want to trim that seam allowance down. Once it's trimmed, you can go ahead and now take your crotch lining and fold it to the inside of your bodysuit, just like I have here. Once you have it turned to the inside, now you want to baste along those raw edges. So that's all I did. I took it to the machine, I basted it together. So now you want to go ahead and grab your piece 9, which is only your leg elastic guide. I just simply laid my elastic over it. I didn't stretch it, laid it over the guide, and then I cut 2 equal strips. And so now you want to go ahead and grab your elastic. We're going to be working on the inside of the bodysuit. So go ahead and get some pins or clips, whatever you're going to use, and just go ahead and lay your elastic along your leg edge like I'm doing here. Again, I'm working on the inside, so go ahead and do that all the way around both of your leg edges. Once you're done, go ahead and take it to your machine. You're going to stitch using a zigzag stitch, and you're going to stretch the elastic very slightly as you're sewing. So once you're done, it should look similar to this. And what you want to do next is turn your elastic to the inside. Put you some pins in, or you can use clips. And then you want to go ahead and stitch it 1/4 of an inch close to that finished edge. So this is how my bodysuit is looking at this point. And so now I'm going to go ahead and grab my snaps, and we can go ahead and apply those right now. To apply your snaps, first you just need to, remember how it's supposed to go. That way you won't be confused. So I'm going to start working on my back piece first. I'm going to take one of these pokey parts out of the kit. I'm going to push it through the inside so that the sharp parts are facing me on the outside. I'm going to lay this piece on top of that. My snaps, they came in a kit, so I have this little blue tool right here that I'm just going to lay over the snap, take it to the floor, and bam with my hammer. Okay, so we're going to do that again. I have the pokes through, it's coming out of on the right side. I'm going to take that part, lay it on top, take the tool, and then with my hammer go to the floor and then secure the snaps in place. So that is how the back is looking so far. Now we're going to walk through the front. So now you want to take your sharp part, put it through the right side on the front, and then get the flat part, put it over top, grab your tool, and then secure it in place with your hammer. Once you have your snaps all complete, you are finished with your bodysuit. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this full week of bodysuit making using Simplicity 8513. I've had a great time. I really do hope the videos were helpful. If you have any questions, leave them for me below. I'll be more than happy to answer. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you do sew one of these bodysuits after watching this video, I would love to see them. So please use the hashtag Sew Along with Brittany so I can see and share your mates. Talk to you all in the next video. Blessings, everyone. Bye.